All right. Here we go. What is going on, everybody? Happy Taco Tuesday. SPY is pointing up here on the first 5-minute candle. Like to see it moving higher here at the bell. All right, SPY. Pretty good action again, kind of like yesterday. Pretty solid. 689.30 is going to be a big zone of resistance to watch for here right off the bat. Is Santa still rallying? Santa rally is now over, but technically the Santa rally did go green. That was pretty interesting to hear yesterday. I remember we kept talking about that possibility. Well, it came to fruition. Santa was coming to town. Joe Papa says, don't forget to smash the like. Appreciate ya. Yeah, if you're joining up today, destroy that like. It helps us out, especially here at the beginning of the stream, for sure. The more the merrier, they say. Good morning, though. Zach. Atro, what's up? Sharpie, Tangy Man. 300Z. I love YouTube. Jake, Almighty J, Simon, Joe Papa, D-Man, Jake, Outlaw. What's up, Ramirez? Spy 688.52. Watch list pulling it up right away. CRML leading the way so far on my watch list. Critical metals up 10.5%. Man, these growth stocks have been on fire the past few days. Oklo again, doing well already. Gap up into this morning. Jeez. That's actually looking solid. A lot of great action here. SMR, another one that's been recovering back well. Moderna. Now that one's a bit strange, but look at open the past 3 days on Moderna. It does have some weird looking price action this morning, though, I can't lie. 4.3% just straight up on the 1 minute. Sheesh. Even though there's other stocks doing good, man, it's looking better. Tesla took a dump. Oh, yeah, it did. Man, Tessie. Right back down to 440. Oh, I guess it can't have 8 red days in a row, but we're going to start back over now. A big drop off there, 2.5, 2.6%. Still moving lower. You. Trying to pop back still. It's up only 2% on the day, but starting to move with some action. Navitas Semiconductor, loving that one. NVTS. 9.4%. Holy guacamole. Look at that daily chart on Navitas. Just continues to pop higher here, holding this trend line on the daily, but loving the short-term volatility. Gosh, there is resistance here right around 950. So that's going to be a big zone to watch before we get towards 10 plus. It's like every 50 cents here on Navitas. Liking it. Tansy Man says IMSR. Saw somebody say that in the Discord this morning. Maybe Mets. Yeah, IMSR is moving. Terrestrial Energy. It says they did an other transaction authority agreement with the U.S. Department of Energy under the Advanced Reactor Pilot Program for Project Tetra. Tetra. Makes me think of like a fish. For those of you that don't know, there are fish called tetras. So if you think I'm nuts, there literally is. What's up, Dom? RSB, James. Beta fish? I used to have a few of those. I used to actually have tetras too, but no one cares about our fish. What is that stock like where you buy dog food online? Ah, Chewy, that's it. CHWI. You can buy fish stuff on here too. Oh wow, Chewy's actually starting to get demolished again. It's like at the bottom end of its zone. I guess not the bottom. Could be a lot worse. But it is down around the bottom end of this recent support zone. Closer to 29 to 30. I like that zone. It's like, it looks more like the zone is 30 to 31.50. All right. Oh, I see. Yeah, there's all kinds of them, Steve. Tansy Man says, I care about your fish. Man, Tessie's turning over hard again today. What do you guys think with Tesla right now? I mean, this is a pretty weird setup going on. You know, they've had this great recovery. They technically made new all-time highs recently, but I'm just curious, like, what you guys' thoughts are. Like, are you guys thinking, like, wow, this is rough for Tesla. Tesla is going to end up dropping a lot more, or do you kind of think that Tesla's doing okay? Curious. Lead says SLV has been beyond insane. Up again 4.4% with the metals. Yep, gapping up, going higher. GLD. There we go. Bam. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? People are mad Elon's working with Trump again. Is he? I didn't even hear about that. I wouldn't be surprised though. Tell you that. GLD. Sorry, I'm messing with my mic here. Tesla's just breathing real hard. Oh no. Getting stuck down here around the low of the day. 440 definitely coming back into play. Big area of support. See what looks like on Bookmap. The good old Bookmap. Oh yeah, 440 had a pretty big stack. 438 though, what's up with that? 438 has more buyers stacked up there than 440 did. Huh. Interesting. 438. It's a weird level. The low from yesterday was closer to 435, 50, 436, so that's a bit strange to me. Yesterday on SD Bullion, they were almost out of inventory, silver inventory. Ooh. Yeah, supply dwindling down, I guess. That sounds rough. for them. NVIDIA's autonomous tech will give other automakers a chance to compare with Tesla, or compete with Tesla compared to the Sherwood news, or according to Sherwood. Man, Sherwood, I'll tell you what. Let's all go outside Sherwood's headquarters and give them a piece of our minds. Man, NVIDIA getting choppy here at open. There's a big range that NVIDIA is stuck in. I'm glad to see it kind of coming back. It looks like it's trying to pop back a little bit today, but it's technically red on the day. Oh, no. No, it's not. TradingView must... Oh, my God. TradingView's hourly charts are off. Weird. Yeah, and NVIDIA's up 0.81%. Oof. Sorry, TradingView. Scary right there. Is it because NVIDIA's announces their self-driving tech? No, I don't think that that's necessarily why. I saw them moving down yesterday. You know, they did have some CES updates, but I didn't see anything too crazy. You know, the stock didn't really drop too much last night or pop. It kind of went back and forth, chopped around a little bit. What's up? Thanks for your thoughts on NVIDIA, but any idea if it'll break out of that resistance? The thing is, it possibly can at some point today. Are you NA in the Discord? Let me know that real quick. Ah, okay. I see. That makes sense. So you have the 190 calls for January 9th, which are coming up very fast in just a couple days. It's the 190s, which are like right around the money. Let's go to that 1 minute chart on NVIDIA. The one problem with those calls is going to be that with NVIDIA chopping around, I'm just going to circle like a lot of chop that happened the other day. See that? See where I'm circling there? How much chop happened with NVIDIA? With your expiration being so close, with all this chop here, if it chops around, you know, you could end up being down like 50% and then up 200%. Like nothing happened really. And you'd probably end up getting stopped out before you really got to realize that run. So that's just something to think about. I don't know how much you're down or up on the play or the exact, your exact thesis there. But I'm a fan of NVIDIA back to the upside in this range. Within the range, it's held very well. And most of the times, if it touches the bottom of the range like it did here, it does get back to the top. So I would not be surprised if it tried to run to the top of the range, if not even break the top of the range as we see more bullish buying pressure come in with the overall market too. Which, of course, NVIDIA would be one of the big reasons why the overall market would move. But I'm a fan of the play I think, though, that the amount of time is very short, and it's going to be very tough to justify swinging that. I would recommend to get more time in the future. You don't want to necessarily have just a couple days till expiration and, for example, be holding overnight and stuff like that. It can result in some pretty negative swings sometimes. Of course, each morning's going to be different. Some mornings you'll wake up to a nasty swing to the downside. Sometimes you'll wake up to the stock ripping in your direction. Sometimes you'll wake up and the stock's flat. The problem that really hurts you, though, is that time decay. The only way I'd hold overnight is if I was winning by like a shit ton. And like I knew that if it fell a little bit or something, it wasn't that bad. No problem. Thoughts on SDGR? Palantir's moving, Ramirez says. Oh, wow, it is, yeah. Had that little pop up yesterday. Looking at it today, yeah. Good action here at open and pre-market. Looking good. I know this was a possible momentum play to the downside last night's video, but I'll tell you what, with it breaking this resistance up, it's looking pretty good up now, too. Rick said, good morning, all. I'm late. Go ahead and let me have it. Oh, how dare you?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Oh, man, that was a lot longer than I thought. I thought he was just going to say, I award you no points. That ended up being very long. Sorry for that. The what? The Hyundai robot is pretty impressive. Haven't seen that before. KOS, Cozy. Thoughts on SDGR? All right, let's go see it. I've never heard of this one before. Or if I have, it's been a long time. I obviously don't remember. 1650 to 17 support. Oh man, this one's a tough one. It seems like the setup here is pretty solid for a possible continuation. It seems like it likes to chop on the way up here. You know, it's clearly going like, you know, on the way up. I would recommend probably waiting for like 3 days of red and then jumping in. That's what I would do if I were you. I don't love it though. I'm not a huge fan of the stock's PA or its movement. It's not really you know, done the best, and while it could end up doing very good, it is on a big support. Again, I'm not saying it has to turn around, but it did just touch a major support. You know, if you were willing to get risky with, or sorry, if you were willing to, I don't know, trade a bit riskier of a stock, but also like have a good risk reward. You know, I mean, you could stop out under this big support at like, I don't know, 15. I mean, you're risking 20% or so to the downside, it looks like. And, you know, I mean, holy shit, you could target to at least up to the next resistance here, next bigger end of this channel, like 2670. You're looking at a 1.7 risk reward. That's pretty solid. A nice 36% gain to the upside. You're risking 20%. I like it. I actually like the risk reward setup on the daily. If you're willing to go for something like that, you could possibly extend your reward out more. But yeah, I mean, I don't know too much on like the longer term with SDGR, but I've got to say the play, and if you use the risk reward setup, is looking solid. Ultra short term, anything can happen, but I'd probably wait for 3 days of downside or something. No problem. No problem. Thanks for joining up. LMT, Lockheed Martin's up 4.41%. Oh, wow. It is starting to explode. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Lockheed Martin has recently been bouncing off of a trend line extending back to 2019. It has been consistent since 2019 at the low side of that trend line. That's pretty crazy to say. The only time it fell under the trend line was like July of this year, where it did, I would say it had a very good, technically broke down, but very minimal. Right back up now. This is wild setup here. Crazy with these defense stocks, how wild they can get. How about Kratos? KTOS trying to move up as well. Northrop's a big one. Okay, okay. How about Boeing? Not bad. Boeing has been, ever since COVID, they've been down in this lower range. I actually have a golfing buddy who worked for Boeing, and the guy, he went on strike recently against Boeing in St. Louis, and it was funny. He would send me videos at like 2 or 3 in the morning of him just sitting on the side of the road with pickets. And I was like, why are you there at 3 in the morning? And he was, it made no sense to me. I'm like, who the hell are you influencing at 3 in the morning out here with your picket sign? He said apparently you have to have somebody there all the time or something. I was like, what? Okay. I was like, even at 3 in the morning, okay. Maybe there was overnight workers or something. I have no idea, but I thought you guys might get a kick out of that. Got the daily chart there. Boeing bouncing up off of recent lows. Man, it's getting up towards recent highs, actually, almost. Oh, too high now. Too close to resistance. Yeah, it must have been for the other ships or something. I guess, like, so the workers see it whenever they walked outside. That would be my only guess. Sent an email to Elon telling him to shut up about politics and focus on the Cherry 2000. I like that, Xavier. The Krusty Krab is unfair. Yep. Mr. Krabs is in there. Old reference there. It's funny to say old reference now. That was probably like 20 years ago or more that came out. Man, Tesla's still dying off today. It got very slow, but it just on this recent 1-minute candle broke under the support of the day. We'll have to see how low it can get. It's pretty rough, though. Pull up our watch list here again. Moderna is now leading the watch list. All the growth stocks pulled back. CRML was leading it this morning. You can see it really did pull back. MU, Micron on fire again. New all-time highs. Holy crap, 6.2%. I'm buying Micron instead of Nvidia now. Nvidia is now the underdog. No, I'm kidding. It's pretty weird, though, how good MU is doing. But guys, MU is better because it's trading for 332. Nvidia is only trading for 192. Nah, I'm kidding. Always go by market cap, guys, not stock price, of course. I remember whenever I was brand new to trading, I even thought that. But keep in mind, you know, I was like 17 or 18 years old, so. What's up, Demure? Hope you're having a great one. Yeah, Tesla's really not looking bright today, is it? Definitely not. At least Nvidia came back here, though. That is the one big strong point there. Glad Nvidia came back, though. NA, do you still have Nvidia? Might not be terrible to look at taking some profit here soon. It did get to the top of the channel. I don't know how, you know, stick to your thesis, of course, but. Oh, you're recovering on a bit of the loss. Oh, I see. You're still down on it? You think you're doing a covered call on Nvidia? Ooh, a covered call. So you have 100 shares? I would go ahead and look to go to like, man, Demir, I'd want to say like 200 or more. I would honestly be a bit careful with that. You always can. I just, if you're worried about losing your shares, I would probably just stick with letting them go up, but. D-Man, loving the SPY. Glad to hear that. Yeah, SPY doing very well today with Nvidia popping. SPY's all the way back up to 690 now, guys. Up 0.35%. On that daily chart, it's looking very solid, very close. The all-time high is at 691.65. So not far off. Not far off at all now. We might get there actually really soon. Very interesting. I love it. Let's keep it going. Yeah, I'm glad to see it moving up. The long-term accounts loving it today. Man, SPY getting up there. 690.30. How about the banks again today? Oh man, JP Morgan was exploding yesterday. I was wondering if they'd be moving today. I know nobody mentioned them yet, so that should have been my indicator. I don't know, Demure. I don't know. People change, right? 500 for the day on SLV calls. I think I'm going to call it. SLV running. Wow, 5.3% now. Up over 5% now. That's crazy. Looking great. I know he pops in to post some SPY profits every once in a while, though. Yeah, who knows? Maybe he's in other groups or something. No idea. Ramirez says platinum. CVX down today. You should go ask him. Moving down 159, 160. Yeah, CVX really pulling back, unfortunately. How's Zom? Nice drop there, 123.85. Wow. Big pullbacks by these oil stocks today. Definitely nothing as bullish as yesterday. Even VLO down. This was my big watcher. I was watching it a little bit in pre-market. Notice huge resistance here, though. 184.80 to 185. That's a very big level to watch for. Your longs are killing it since the first overall. You're up almost 13% year to date. Yeah, I saw your post yesterday, Tangi. I saw you post up. Let me go back to it. Yeah, I saw the RCAT, UMAC. Hell yeah, that was nice. Year to date was 10.15, so yeah, even better now. This guy in the Discord, Champion Fighter, posted up in the Profits channel some nice gains of $39,000 on Roblox yesterday. Holy shit. I'm laughing though because he has a he's got a handicapped picture on his profile picture. I've never seen that before. But first time for everything. 435.50. Tesla testing the low from yesterday. See if it holds up as support or not, but you can see right now it's definitely right on there. I drew another car. Obviously, just making fun of how sometimes people draw weird things. Tax season's coming in too fast. Oh, yeah, it is. It's actually not too far off, is it? Most of that you bought in the last 10 days of December. Uh-oh. Xavier said, when I was a child, I thought the handicap sign was a person on the toilet. I see what you're saying. I could see how a kid could think that. That's crazy, though. You bought almost everything like that at the end of December. That's crazy, Tangy. SPY well above 690 now. About 50 cents higher. The momentum is going. Remember, 691.65 is the all-time high. SPY is almost a point away. Wow, it got close. 690.60. It broke 690.50 there for a second. It's going to make us wait to get to that 1 point mark. Good time to buy Nike. It's always a good time. No, I'm kidding. I think for the longer term, it's not a bad time. But you have to be really willing to hold it long term. If you bought it now, you know, I think you could have gotten in a bit lower. It just filled the gap, starting to dip a little bit. I think you could wait a few days and possibly get it a bit cheaper, but overall, I think the best way to go with Nike is it's in the bottom of the range. So I think you could just dollar cost average in a really easy way. Just DCA in, you'll be all good. What do you think of Bitcoin? BTC USD started coming back really well yesterday. Today it's slowed up a lot as it's at resistance. I'd be worried about this resistance over the next few trading days. I feel like that there is a lot more bullishness starting to come back into Bitcoin though, and if the market keeps going up, I would think that Bitcoin could break through here and test 100K. Maybe even come back to test the trend line. That would be interesting if it came back to test the overall trend line there. Very interesting move. For today, though, I think it's going to stay choppy. Look at SPY still trying to get it done. Looking really good. It's probably going to end up consolidating and dropping at least a little bit, though, so realize that. Tesla's still moving up off that support that we highlighted a few minutes ago. I'm sure there might be some dip buyers out there looking to trade this one up. Watch out for 440 as possible resistance on the way up. Yesterday, after Tesla bounced here, it ran up to 441.50 to 442. So watch out there. Nvidia had pulled back actually the past few minutes off of 192. I drew that as the overhead range for Nvidia. I'm not surprised to see it bouncing close to there. Not at all. Could be some opportunity trying to play it down off that, but realize Nvidia's been more bullish today, so I'd rather take more of a bullish stance, maybe going for a 192 breakout at some point, but just realize that, you know, it just rejected. It's getting a bit slow. Probably not the best trade here in my eyes. I feel like there's other better opportunities somewhere. Oh, SPY popping right back here. Woo. Kind of slowed up here. You know, it was running and then it started to really get flat up here at the top. If it starts to break that high of the day, that'd be a good bullish sign for this overall trend today to continue. Getting very close. It is getting very, very close. There we go. New high of the day achieved by SPY. Looking great. Xavier said, thoughts on UPS? Might take profits. I'm up 80%. Love to see that. Let's see. UPS. Wow, looks great. Are you in the longer term play? Or are you just in, you just trading UPS? Because it does look fantastic. I would, if you're in the longer term play, I would continue to hold. But hey, if you're just in like a smaller swing trade or something, I would not be afraid to take profits here. It is looking fantastic. It is starting to touch resistance, but overall, I mean, I'd like to see it move higher. Something that I'm a bit worried about with this setup is I could see UPS potentially, you know, touching resistance and then chopping back down towards support and then maybe, you know, trying to make another rise later in the year. That's one thing that I'm a bit worried about, especially since it did it right here. That's something that I'm very worried about happening and playing out. So I would be a little bit worried about that. But again, I don't think I would let it really dictate my overall position here. Looks like UPS, though. This is a big support zone that it's down on. I think, you know, if you have options that expire in a few months or something, I don't think taking profits is bad. It's a 116 expiration. Oh, very soon then. I would take profit then. It is up a lot, and it is right around resistance, so I think it's a smart time. How's that SPY? Oh, it got there. Yeah, that's huge. Still getting up there nice. Raphael says, any tips on profit taking? One of my biggest tips for profit taking is going to be, number one, understanding that you're never gonna perfectly time up the top or the bottom. That's one big piece of advice that you'll go crazy thinking about if that's what you keep thinking about in the stock market. I would be very careful with that mindset. And ultimately, I would really attempt to understand that concept as quickly as possible, because again, kind of like Xavier was asking just a minute ago, you know, should I take profits on UPS? I mean, UPS is on resistance, right? Could it keep going? Yes. Is it good though to lock in the gains at 80%? That's also a good yes. I mean, there's a few different ways you could go. I would really recommend, though, you know, once you start to get over 50% plus gains, as long as it aligns with your overall risk strategy and your risk reward setup is set up in this way, you know, anything like over 50%, I mean, you're talking pretty good gains at that point. So from then on, I mean, really, you could take profits at almost like any time. You know, of course, it's always nice to see 1,000% gainer, right? You'll look back sometimes and be like, man, if I just would have held. But try not to think about it that way. One other big piece of advice is I would start journaling your trades and look at how you take profits on those. It might not be bad to go back and study some as the weeks go by. You know, like let's say you every Friday night for an hour, you know, you go back and you look at specifically how you took profits on a few different trades that, you know, you thought maybe you could have taken more profits on, right? And you're like, okay, well, how could I make this better? I would also start to look into stuff like scaling in and out. Scaling out, of course, is a very good way to help you secure larger profit. One of the biggest tools that we like to use in the Discord is the candle snap rule, or the CSR. Now, this is a rule that essentially looks at 5-minute candles, and like theoretically, you'll never exit until a 5-minute candle breaks down below the next. Now, you can do this on any candlestick time frame. You could do 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 3 minutes. I recommend like 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, time frames like that generally. But like, it allows you to really ride some good trends, you know, as long as there's not a lot of like volatility with 5-minute candles breaking down. Like even like right now, like since this point that I'm circling, SPY has not fallen back under a 5-minute candle, and it's just been trending up. Now it did. Now, as I said that, it did. So you would have exited here theoretically if you entered like on a breakout somewhere here, or, you know, something like that. That's essentially the candle snap rule. We have more info, though, in the Discord for trading floor members, of course, but that's a good way to go with it. Chase has a story. Uh-oh. Mason told me about that. He says, I don't know how it came up, but this dude was like, I know Mason. Yeah, how does that even come up? And don't you guys like text all the time too or something? Maybe it's just meant to be. That is wild to think about. Sorry though, Mason ruined the surprise. He already told me. I look at the 5 minutes, but then I look at the 1 minute and I panic and exit. It's patient to watch the 5 minute. Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps. It helps for sure if you're having issues. I'm a big 1 minute fan, but again, you just have to understand the volatility out there. If I wasn't going to Nashville this weekend, there could have been a chance I'd be there. Damn, you're going to Nashville now? Holy shit, Mason. I swear, man, you travel more than anyone I've ever met. Except for my buddy that literally travels for work. What were you doing in Florida, Chase? Or you live in Florida, right? It was just a random... It was Mason's friend that was in Florida, right? Just down some Gatorade here. You're going to see the Hawks and Predators game. Oh, that'll be cool. Hawks versus Preds. Man, SPY's testing the high of day again. It's about a point from the all-time high. Chase already forgot his name. Oh no. Yeah, that's cool though. Have fun. Have fun, have fun. It's at the same time though as the Bears and Packers playoff game. Oh. The Packers are going to destroy the Bears, man. Packers are going to feast on the Bears. Feast, I tell you. No, I'm kidding. And then he goes unlike for that. I'm surprised Vegas has Chicago only favored by like 1.5 points. Micah Parsons is on the IR, which sucks. The Packers have just lost 4 in a row as well, so they're probably done. I know they kept having injury issues and stuff. This is the 3rd time that they've played the Bears since December 7th. What the hell? It'll be the 3rd time that they've played the Bears since December 7th. That's crazy. What else is crazy? SPY is running new all-time high. There we are. There we are. I tell you, buy the SPY. And Nvidia 192 coming up. It's our time to ride. Time to ride. How the hell did the Panthers get in? They're 8-9. What the heck? Is next Friday, quad witching day. Ooh. Let me see. So this Friday is the 9th. Next is the 16th. I'm trying to make sure it's not just triple witching. No, quad witching is going to be the third Friday of March, June, September, and December. That's right. So the next one won't be till March on quad witching. There will be standard monthly options expirations, though. Let me see VICR. Somebody asked me about this in the Discord. Somebody took some puts on it. What the? This is a crazy stock, though. VICR, thing's been running up like crazy. How is the... Oh, yeah, the implied volatility is very high, too. Crazy week for football, college, and the NFL. Man, I don't watch like any of the NFL at all. Or sorry, of college. I do watch the NFL though. Thoughts on you. What happened to SoFi? Holy, SoFi really got tanked here. SoFi, why are people selling? Let's see. Gosh, no news today. Gotta love that. Maybe it's just natural volatility. I don't know. That's a big pullback though by SoFi. There are a few stocks on my watch list though pulling back pretty crazily today. Tesla was one of them. You know, we talked about that possible lower support range holding, and it did hold. You know, we said to watch out for 440 resistance to 442. Or sorry, 440. We'll just say 440. I don't think I said 442. 441. But it's getting close to there, slowing down a bit now as well. Is anyone picking up the CVX drop? Chevron. I don't think it's a bad idea to try and pick it up on the drop, honestly. I could see a few days of downtrend before an ultimate attempt to run more. Is a pretty decent pullback there, you know, to run down 2% like that, but I could see it trying to hold well. I was thinking it might continue going down, but worried I might wake up and see it up 5% before the market opens. One Day in Town says, where do you go to get your music? Here, I'll send you a link to the video that I'm watching, and you can subscribe to the creator or go check it out. It's called Deep Focus Music. I'm a big fan. They don't get a ton of views, but I'm a big fan of the music though. Trailed out of SLV now. Nice trailing stop. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it did start pulling back a bit there. Makes sense. JP's buying this on the drop. CVX. It's sitting around 160. This might not be the exact low. You know, it could still fall for a couple days maybe. But at the end, I could see it swinging back up. Looking great. How's UPS? Oh, nice. Rejected a little bit. Rejected a little bit. Overall, looking pretty good, though. Still eyeing that up at resistance. I know a couple of people were looking at it. Rigetti pulling back slightly, but overall, great profits there. Be nice if UPS filled that gap all the way up to 133. I'm just kidding, guys. That gap is far away. That'd be funny if it did, though. It probably will over the years, but who knows how damn long that's going to take. That's the problem with the options there, but overall, nice stuff. Thoughts on Rich Tech Robotics right now? Had a big sell-off at open. RR. Look at that trend line holding on the daily. Wow, they recently really bounced off that. That is a big pullback today. This is a tough one for me. You know, they're kind of right around that trend. If they turn over hard and they start to test that trend again and break it down, it would be pretty negative. I could see them dropping off, but lately a lot of growth stocks have attempted to recover up from like the low of the day. So I could see an attempt at a better move there. Tangerine Dream? What is that? A 70s group that did movie soundtracks. What? That's actually not a bad name. That's a pretty good name for a group. That does sound like a good ice cream flavor, seriously. Or a smoothie or something. It's a yummy strain of Moda. Oh gosh. Is that the MJ? A vape flavor? Oh. That probably is the name of a vape flavor, actually. That's... No vapes here. I've never heard it called that, Tangy. Oh, it's slang? Uh-oh. I'm in trouble now. It just mirrored. Does anyone trade on the 5-year time frame? 5-year per candle? No, you just mean like you go to a daily and like you zoom out 5 years? I don't think that's a bad way to trade. It's definitely good for like longer term trading for sure. You bought gold miners based on a time-year timeline with weekly intervals. That killed it. I like to zoom out a lot like that too. It just, obviously for longer term stuff. I like it though, Johnny. I like the patience. I think that's smart. Very smart. I think too many people get crazy. Oh no, Tangy. Oh no. Tesla 435 coming up. I'm gonna go hide in the corner while you guys do that. Tesla coming up on that double bottom. This is where it touched yesterday and today. It's holding up well so far. Does anyone use Fidelity? I bought a put when I tried to sell a cash secured put. Oh, it sounds like you might have just made a mistake, Outlaw. Is it possible? I would doubt that they would mess up that bad. I've even done that by mistake myself on Thinkorswim before. Oh, okay. It kind of sounded like you were blaming the platform, Outlaw. That's my bad. I had to call them. They had to sell the put and then sell a cash secured put. Oh, wow. Outlaw, could you have just sold the put and then done it? Or did you have to call? Normally, if I do that, I just close it out and then I just open up what I wanted. Although it might cost me an extra $1 or something. But. They changed the process on that ticket sale. Robinhood is user-friendly. Ah, I see. Are you new to it, Outlaw, or have you been using Fidelity for a while? I can't remember. Tangy, I wish that my friends would call me that. That would be hilarious. I had to call, let's see. Bought a call instead of a put on Nvidia once, and I made bank on it. That's... Every once in a while, I hear of people doing that. Normally, it ends up the other way, though. So I'm glad that worked for you, Alexander. This is really dumb. Sell-off on SoFi or huge buying opportunity. Yeah, it's a bad sell-off today. I would be very careful buying it today with how nasty it is. Look at how, like, every once in a while, SoFi just has these, like, really nasty... And I mean nasty candles. It's wild, actually. I marked them all in red boxes here, but every once in a while, they just have these really nasty days. I don't know, is somebody, like, selling or injecting shorts into this? Or shorts or, you know, longs covering, or what the hell? This is a very weird situation with the... Every once in a while, it's just like bam, 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 bam. And these are like bad days too, like 8 to 10% days. Hell, this one up here at the top might be 15%. Oh, sorry, I was off. It's 11. Close. I had SoFi for 3 months, and it was the most volatile stock I've ever had, Raphael said. Yeah, no kidding, especially the way it's been moving lately. Look at this person. There's a big money trade that bought puts on December 17th. It's getting back there for them. They're probably feeling the pressure on that one right now, if they're still in. Same company rated SoFi as underperform with a 2045 price target. Who did that? 20.45? They must think that the fundamentals are off or something. Which is fair, you know, they have been pretty elevated lately. I would say that's fair. Tesla hourly looking huge down here. These wicks are looking great. 435.30. That is perfect. Come on, Tessie, you gonna hold it or are we gonna break down today? It looks pretty rough, like we might get a breakdown coming through fairly soon anyhow. Did you guys see that McDonald's still has the McRib out? Is this right? I think it does. I thought it said that. Maybe it'll be unavailable now. I thought it was getting phased out, then it came back. And then now I think it's officially going to be gone. But Now I'm sad. Bank of America was the company that did that to SoFi? Yeah, that makes sense. They are always out here saying stuff. I don't know if you guys noticed on TradingView, these new updates up here at the top, there's like this diamond. You can click it down and see all these different things about these companies now. It's pretty neat. We could see financial fundamentals on the stock very easily. Documents. Wow, okay. You got, what the hell's technicals show? What does that show? Oh, oscillators, moving averages. I see. They have Fibonacci's and pivots and all types of stuff. Let's go see forecasts. These analyst forecasts. The 25 analysts, 1 year price forecast. Okay. Interesting. This is neat. I like this on TradingView. This is a neat update. I'm sure some of you guys have noticed this, the ones that have used this recently, but I thought it was neat. I was looking through this like last night and the past few days, and yeah, I thought it was interesting. Look, you can see the seasonality of it, how they generally have went. You can extend this out to 1972. How do they normally move? That's pretty cool. You can see it on average there. Tables. Oh! That's neat. That is very neat. Up here at the top. Oh, let me see if it shows you this. You might not see it. Oh, yeah, you can see it. Right here, there's a little diamond next to SPY. It says chart. Whenever you click that, you can click this down arrow and it'll pop up with other things like that. So then you click seasonals. And then you click over here, you click this table view. And it brings up the table, show you like how it generally does over this time frame. So let's just say I take SPY back to 1993. SPY in January has went up 20 times and down 13 times. Oh, I have to scroll down. I was like, where is it? Okay, I see. It's very interesting, though. Now, I wish that they would change some of these things around. Like, put down at the bottom, they need to put, like, average percent and all that stuff rather than just up and down. But they're getting there. They're getting there. It's looking good. Looking good. All right, back to SPY itself, intraday. Uh-oh. SPY started pulling back in a pretty crazy way there. Pretty big pullback starting to come through. I'm going to look at some news here just to make sure. Triple check. Why not? 12 minutes ago, the Supreme Court sets Friday as opinion day with tariffs pending. Trump says everyone loves our operation in Venezuela except New York. Trump said we're going to be producing weapons and planes much faster. Sounds like pretty good news here. Yeah, the Supreme Court set Friday as a ruling on tariffs. big pullback, Palantir. Weapons and planes. Sounds like he's going to need silver. Lots of silver. Maybe we're going to set up silver mines in Venezuela is what the secret really is. Gold and silver mines. Joking, of course. Oil is interesting, though. I'm really liking oil in the short term. Crude oil, ticker symbol CL. If you have TradingView, you type in CL and then you just click crude oil futures and it pops up with the most recent month. Looking pretty decent though, you know, down a little bit today, 0.24%, nothing crazy, but it is consolidating hard down here and it is straddling a very large support. If the support does hold, we could see crude oil pop up quite a bit. I would say towards 62 a barrel plus, so 4 points or so at least. And if we see that happen, I would think that ZOM, Oxy, and the others would start to move higher. Obviously, they don't have to move with crude oil, but Oxy's very interesting to me. They had a big sell-off yesterday. They got close to resistance recently, but sold off. Today, they tried to mount a bit of a comeback. Thomas, 25.80 support for SoFi. And what is your view for the long term? 25.80 support. Let's see. Oh, I love that as support. One of the times it extended down to like 25.70, but yeah, 25.80. Generally the area of support here. Let me mark it actually. I do have 26.50 down as well, but that's okay. Yeah, 25.75, 25.80. That range is huge. You can see hits in all these red boxes that I'm going to put up. Some of them got a little higher than this level. Some got a little lower. Generally, though, this is where I would look at. 25.75, 25.80. I believe 25.80 is the main support. Yeah, I like it. Let's go, Outlaw. Venezuela has huge lithium deposits. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if there's more stuff to Venezuela than we really know, but Voting machine records. Oh, no. What's that? Are those in Venezuela? Now you got me going down the rabbit hole, Tangy Man. That is a massive pullback by SoFi, though. I know you guys keep mentioning it today. That is a big one. 9.2%. Not even leading the watch list, though. Aqua Metals is down more. AQMS. Believe it or not. Somehow. AMD is down 4%. Wow, Advanced Money Dispenser became Advanced Money Destroyer today. My word. Look at, I don't think many people are talking about AMD's pullback today. It's pretty massive. Are they going to try to actually fill the gap on the daily? That would be extremely interesting if they did. Bet many people haven't noticed that today. They are down a lot. Tesla's right there next to him on the watch list, though. Right there next to him. Look at Tesla on the daily now, looking a lot worse as it broke under the low from yesterday now. Low from yesterday has given out, so that area of support is now gone on Tessie. That dip buy could have worked for a quick snipe, but that was it. A lot with the dollar, Ramirez said. I'll have to look into that. I haven't thought about the dollar much as far as this is concerned, but that does make sense, maybe. I really can't wait to see good old TLT start to move up, but it continues to drop here. 87 coming up. I mean, as we go into this year, the Feds could just hold rates steady. We'll see. Weird time. Definitely a weird time to be messing with all this. Anytime I'm long Tesla, we dump for days in a row. I'm short Tesla. We have an asymmetrical straight up move. I'll never trade Tesla again, Elite says. Never again. You know what they say about trading Tesla.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Boom. Best stats in the world. Patience will reward you on Tesla. Especially if you buy and hold it at decent lower levels, I think so. I think so. In short, we have everything to gain and little to lose in regards of removing Maduro. Creating a relationship with the country rich in resources. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Big bonus for Lockheed Martin shareholders. I can't wait to see LMT continue to move here. This has been an amazing run up. This could be fun for the next few trading days. Even if there's some down days mixed in, it could still be fun. You have to even trade those pullbacks that inevitably happen. Check out Bank of America again. Maybe do a quick check on the banks. Nothing crazy here. JP Morgan starting to try to move up off of its base, but nothing crazy. Let's also go check out what are some other nice tickers that we like to check in on every once in a while, like the airlines, CCL. Wow. Or the cruise lines and airlines. I normally do it together. Here's CCL, RCL. Wow, great price action by the cruise lines and airlines. NCLH, all right. Let me make sure these guys are on my watch list really quick. There's CCL. Let me add on RCL, NCLH. There we go. NCLH wasn't on there. Airlines as well. DAL. AAL. Wow, they're all moving pretty good. I like AAL's intraday setup. LUV. Yeah, a lot of good action here. Delta's pushing resistance too. Very nice. Looks like Tesla's going to fill a gap from December 2nd. Really? Let's go to the hourly. I see the gap. It'd fill it down to 430 would fill it. That'll probably be, oh my gosh, 429, 430. This has to be a huge area of support. Let me see SPY support really quick. The one-day chart on TEM looks interesting. Tempest. Wow, Tempest is on fire. 6.5% today, breaking out intraday. Looks awesome. The daily chart itself looks very weird. I'm going to actually remove the drawings. Too many. But yeah, the Tempest is running up 6.8%. That's a good jump there by Tempest AI. $69 touching right now. Love it. Love to see it. SPY sitting around that support. Man, Tempest, though, looks great. Looks kind of like the airlines starting to pop. There's AAL going. AAL looking great. Daily chart looks awesome. Love to see it. Love to see it. Raphael says, Tom, any good 3-month setups? 3 months. Specifically, Disney's interesting here coming up off the dip, but I think 3 months might be too little bit of time. Hard to go wrong with SMH the way things have been going lately. Really think about a couple here. UPS isn't bad. Again, we've been looking at the UPS a lot. It's been on fire. There it goes again today. 104.35. I think for 3 months is a weird time frame, right? It's like just short enough of a time frame that like it makes it tougher to trade just normal volatility, but Tangi's out of here. Gotta run. Y'all have a great profit-filled day. Thank you, Tangi. Thank you a million times to our esteemed host, Tommy Tenders. Tommy Tenders. There we go. Thank you, Tangi. Glad to hear you're doing so well this year. We're already up 13%. Let's go. AL jumped and pulled back a bit, getting a little volatile. Delta was jumping as well. LUV got up and out. See what's up on the watch list right now. Moderna's up 12% now. My gosh. Pretty insane. Breaking through resistance here. Testing major resistance on the daily. A big range of resistance. Kind of extends all the way from like 35.50 all the way to 38, but generally I would look at this 35.50 to 36 mark. Wow, though, Moderna. It'll probably slow up now, though, of course. Ooh. Mason said AMD's CEO. I see in Discord he posted, demand for AI in China is high. Really? Yeah, I see it all over Stock Labs right now. Okay. Yeah, lots of little headlines with AMD. One of them says that their CEO says, we're working with the U.S. government to find solutions. They also said compute has to increase by 100x over 4 to 5 years. Trump just said we had the highest stock market in the history of U.S. as well. Let's see if this helps AMD come back up off this dip at all. Maybe a little buy the dip opportunity here intraday. Don't know if anybody wants to take a stab at that or not. I think it's a hard stab to take given how much it's sold down here, but it could be plausible. All right, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and call the stream there today. I appreciate everybody joining up, though. Oh, man. Alex just posted Apple again. Apple down 262.50. Pretty rough action. We haven't looked at the Mag 7 setup much today. Does seem like Mag 7's mixed across the board, but mostly red. Amazon's up 2%, but Google, Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, all red. Nvidia's actually break even, but you guys get the drift. SPY does seem to be trying to pop up off this 688.30, 688.50 support, forming a bit of an intraday base, so not looking bad. Thank you, Chase. Tell Mason's friend I said hi. I'm kidding. Thank you, VT. Love those nice words there. Thank you very much. Like Brain said, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new. We still have code CRUSH2026 active if you want to join the trading floor. If you're making some good profits, check out the link. Use code CRUSH2026 for $100 off yearly. Let's go. Get it while you can. See you guys later. See you in the trading floor. Check out tonight's vid.